Good day, great day, grand day to you all. Welcome back in another segment of Dr. TSA Series. This is a Part B interview with Miss Eliza. And we're talking about right now anxious or anxiety and being able to sit within our feelings. And so you were just talking about, you getting better with anxiety or anxious and recognizing that, right? And as you said that, I looked at the word anxious and I'm like, where do we get even that terminology from? We have some internal feelings going on, but because it's uncomfortable, because it has us jittery, we think it's anxiety and what we've been taught anxiety to be. One of the things that I've learned when it comes to our feelings is not be so quick to define them, because our feelings are emanating from our core area, and the energy rises and the mind is so quick to want to define it as anxiety. And once the mind has defined it with anxiety, that's anxiety, let me continue going. As opposed to, I'm feeling a certain way. Let me sit within this feeling and allow the feeling to tell me more about what it is I'm feeling. Where is this feeling coming to? What do I have to pay attention to? What is the lesson in the moment for feeling it? That takes more time from us, right? It takes patience with ourselves and allowing us to feel those feelings. As opposed to, that's anxiety. Let me continue going on, doing what I'm doing. Take a pill, take a drink, take a nap, whatever the case may be, just to, have that feeling go by. But in everything we feel, it has almost like a microcosm of information that is necessary for the next moment. But if we're not dealing with it in the moment and learning from it, we've already are lost on the path, because our spirit can take us from that moment and share with us different aspects of our lives that has gotten us in this moment and possibly showing us, let's deal with this once and for all. Yeah. Let's work on this and where this came from, because that argument you just had wasn't about the argument, but was about an anxious feeling that you were having that reminds you of a past experience that you're having. And that's the real issue, not the fact that, the kids didn't put the garbage can or the outside or whatever, but that feeling is what came up for you or comes up for us. And it's that discipline that is required for us to learn and grow and be more at peace with self, accepting of self, loving of self, and just being in that moment. So that was, I had to jump on that anxious piece, because a lot of times we are just great with, let me get this, let me get that. This is what's given to me anxiety. All right, let me take a pill, take a nap. Okay, in the morning I'm feeling better. Mm-hmm. No.
You haven't actually dealt with the root, like the cause.
Exactly. Yeah. And it'll continue to come up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'll always come up because we've not dealt with or unpacked the message in the quote unquote anxious feeling.
I agree. I always felt like I was a worrier. So I would just focus on whatever I had coming up, like all of the things that could go wrong. And when I had my third child, my daughter, she would sleep perfectly. She was sleeping perfectly. And I would stay up at night just looking at her with all of these feelings of like, something is going to happen. This is going to happen. This could happen. And I wouldn't sleep. And I had a lot of difficulty sleeping. And I for a very most of my life, I didn't sleep well because I would just be turning things over in my mind about whatever, And I've learned to sort of sit with things a little bit better, to sort of examine what am I even thinking about? Why am I thinking about it? And is it really healthy for me to consider all these options of anything, of this test, of this, even this life that, was this baby that I had, where it was like, what is the purpose of all of these thoughts, and what is it doing for me, and what is it trying to do to me, and where is it coming from? Yeah, right, yeah. So I don't have all those answers yet, but I just know for me internally, I've learned and have gotten better at just acknowledging, okay, well, I'm feeling this about this, so is there something I can do about it? Yes, no. I kind of go through a talk with myself of like, okay, can we control this? Yes or no? Do we want to write it down? Do we want to come back to it later? Do we want to just realize that, yeah, obviously you can't sit here and think of all the ways your child can be hurt, or, how all the things that can go wrong on your next day or your trip that you have planned. So,
so much stuff in what you just said. But you're right. And one of the things that just that I gravitated to is like when you said, well, what do I feel from what I just got?
Mm-hmm.
Like that motion right there, like as if we're feeling from the top down. We're taking the thought and we're allowing the thought to make us feel, and then we act based on that. But one of the things that we don't pay attention to is the fact that it was first a thought, then we feel, and then we act. But the thought, the energy of thought, can come from so many different energy sources that we're not paying attention to the reverse, and how to understand whether something is of you or is it external. And us reacting to what's external versus what we're reacting to what's internal. So what you just explained was an external stimulus. It's out there, you grabbed it, you accepted the thought, now you're acting. As opposed to what you feel in the moment and how the feeling sense edifies the mind, and then act. And we get caught in that trap day to day, getting or being influenced by something out there, accepting it as ours, and it's so subtle. And I just loved when you just did that, because it's in that motion that you just grabbed it. Yep, that's mine. And right. And one of the things or discussions that I've had is what we think is not always ours. Why would one, and this is probably going to go into a next segment, right? But why would I accept the thought that I'm no good, I am disgusting, I am a nobody, and then want to act upon that? Why would I accept that as me, right? That is a thought that is against your essence. But this is what we constantly endure on the day-to-day, thinking that what we think is ours. So making that distinction between what is your thought versus an external thought is key. And I always say that we have to, based on my learning, the teachings that I've had, understanding and going through my own journey of growth and understanding my essence, questioning all of those thoughts. Why would me, in my highest and well-being, take a thought that sodomizes my character, my essence? That cannot be me. My spirit cannot be purposely damaging me by telling me this thought about me. So it has to be of an external source, and making that distinction. And the more I make that distinction between what is of me and what is not, pushes me more to accepting what is of me and fighting what is not of me, so I can get closer and closer with my essence and totally be disconnected from external sources that doesn't infiltrate my internal environment or my internal being.
I think like when I am trying to process like information that's, those thoughts, I think being present has helped me with it, because sometimes I can filter and say, okay, well, this is something that has happened that I'm worrying about that I can't change, or this is something that's coming up that I don't know what is going to happen, but that doesn't mean that I need to spend time on it because I don't know yet, So I've been working on being just more present in what's happening here, as opposed to
all around, you know, the before, the after,
Exactly.
or, you know.
Yeah.
So
being present is key.
Yeah.
So key. There's so much to glean from in the present. There's so much information that can be discovered in the present. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Trying to
Yeah.
stay there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then when we get off and we forget, we get right back on it. Just, you know, not beat ourselves up for getting out of that moment. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, why me? And nope, just get right back in it. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming, Eliza. It was absolutely. It was certainly a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, there you have it on another segment of Dr. TSA Series. It's a pleasure to have Eliza here with us. Hopefully you'll come back and join us. Guys, remember you're loved. Thank you for watching. Namaste. And there you have it on another segment of Dr. TSA Series, a spiritual discussion. Thank you once again all for watching. Remember to click that thumbs up and subscribe. Also, remember you're loved. Namaste.